And again, guys, really appreciate your time, and I'm really looking forward. I was telling Mike over here, Juju, I'm really looking forward to hearing more about this product because I think a good fantasy product in gaming and esports is very needed right now. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about your personal experiences first, so that the viewers can get to know you guys ahead of time. And either of you can take this first question and then pass on to the next one. But how long have you guys been gaming or involved in gaming in some fashion?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I've been gaming my whole life. I would say since all the way back to Call of Duty, War at War, where you were playing zombies and like this, knock the toad in and like just small little map. And ever since then, gaming's been a part of my whole life. Like if people were to ask me like, hey, like what do you do for as a hobby? Like, do I game? Like what do you do? Like I don't do like that's like my meditation, my way to get away from, being relaxed and enjoying myself with friends and whoever it may be, to be honest, with games. And there's a lot of people out there who game. So I would say that I've been a part of gaming since all the way back, since I was a kid, and even to this day. And this is why I'm excited to be a part of this, because it's just near and dear to my heart. I have my own gaming team, my own org, so it kind of just works out perfect. And Mike's a guy, man. He's a man.
I love that. What about you, Mike?
Thanks, JuJu. Well, this is gonna come as a shock to you guys, but I started playing video games back in the 80s.
Hey.
And I've not quit. It's only gotten my hunger, my thirst for it only was gotten bigger and bigger, and then went on to be a real big fantasy sports guy. I often thought, why haven't both of those mixed? No one's really done that yet. So going back to my gaming days, I played every version of Call of Duty. I'm a big Call of Duty Black Ops guy. I love Halo. I just love it. I love gaming, just like JuJu. It's my way to decompress, my way to zone out, right, if you will, and do something else other than life. And it's a lot of fun. And enjoy it a lot.
No, I love that. And I'm guessing then both of you are pretty excited for what's going to be happening in like 4 to 8 hours with the new Call of Duty coming out.
Yeah. I'm already downloading the campaign, so I'm ready for tonight.
I love it. Do that with a little double XP weekend. It's good stuff.
Yes.
So I want to talk about, obviously, World Champion Fantasy and Player X. Mike, I'd like to start with you.
Sure.
What really drove this? When you were looking at the markets, right, and looking at potential competitors, what made you say, all right, we can do this not only as well as these other people, but better than they can?
Yeah, well, what happened was, I've been in tech my whole life. I left Purdue University, and that's all I've done is big business system integrations. And being in tech, I was always disappointed in the fantasy solutions every year, knowing that nothing's changed. It's stayed the same. It's really not gone past a spreadsheet version of fantasy sports. I had a dream. I woke up from the dream and I said, wow, why isn't anybody making fantasy sports play like an Xbox game? Why has that not been done? Why has no one done live video feeds? Why has no one had a good communication tool built into fantasy sports? And it just snowballed. Now we've developed a platform which is really going to deliver real video game technology with live video feeds for user immersive experience. And we're putting it into esports, which is the most exciting sport on the planet, right? It's the biggest phenomenon on the planet.
Sure.
So it's a lot of fun to be in this space, developing a product that's really going to enhance the way people view it, see it, stream it, and get to compete in it. So it's very exciting.
I love hearing that. I'm sure he said the same thing to you, JuJu. Is that what got you in? What else were you thinking about when joining in?
Yeah, so actually this is crazy. So it kind of goes all the way back into there's another football player, Kurt. He plays right now for the 49ers quarterback, and he kind of reached out to me, and I've known Kurt just through video games itself. He's always been a part of those big Twitch events. Like he was part of the Fortnite, and I was like, okay, wow, there's actual football players out there who actually game and play Fortnite pretty well. So that's how we got in our relationship, and he introduced me to Mike, and pretty much how Mike is telling the world is kind of how he told me. And with me having the gaming background itself, I was just excited just to hear it, because it goes into more in depth of when you think of fantasy sports, which I'm a part of, people will rely on me every single Saturday or Sunday to perform. So it's like, as my gaming team, I look at my competitor, I look at them to perform on like these high level games of esports world. So you're talking about bringing like that fantasy sports into the esports world combined together it's unheard of. And that's what really got me like super excited to jump on, because I know what it feels like to have that pressure on you. And I also know what it feels like to, rely on someone else to be like, hey, we gotta get the job done.
No, I love that. And I will tell you, one of the things here at Gamehouse that we really believe is the combination of sports and esports. It's a huge part of our platform. And I got to ask you specifically, JuJu, you were asked in an interview at training camp, or I guess more of like a press conference type thing, how you see gamers and athletes with the same mentality. And you see them as being the people who are the best at what they can do. How do you think that you can help get this message out there? And do you think this is another platform with, WCF and Players X to make that, I guess, leap?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So when I was asked that question, a lot of us, we see, we pay for pay-per-view to watch Mayweather, Serena Williams, LeBron James, like these high intense people who are at their best, performing at their best. And we're talking about athletes here. But then again, we're on Twitch, we're donating, we're subscribing to these people who are at the best at what they do. You talk about the best at Fortnite, the best at Call of Duty, the best in, Valorant, Apex, whatever that may be, right? And how I see this being such a big thing, because a lot of us now, the internet, like Instagram, all socials, they tell you all the highlights, right? Instantly. There's nothing out there that's like esports for ESPN. Like a lot of us have to go back and look at blogs, YouTube, Twitch. Some of us don't have the time to sit there for 2 to 6 hours to go through a vlog to see, oh my gosh, like just crazy like highlights when, player X comes in and this fancy world, it's like, wow, like I'm watching my guy perform every week. He's putting up the points, he's putting up the numbers, and it shows all the stats. And that's the cool part, is because, a lot of us, we always like, okay, I bet you that such and such is going to get this many kills in this many time. Right? We can go into more in depth, but that's just how I see it, man. I think this is going to help, those guys who are pro gamers are considered like pro athletes in my eyes. And it's going to help them, boost them to the next level.
I love that. And for you, Mike, hearing that and hearing that you guys are talking a lot about how you're going to bring the feeling of, playing Xbox essentially, while also, doing fantasy. Can you dive just a little bit more into that? I know you guys have demos and releases coming out a little bit later. I'm not asking for the whole shebang just yet. I'll do that later. But, for this one specifically, can you tell me, what's going to separate you guys out from these other fantasy apps?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, first of all, we're a non-gambling, kid, family-friendly version of fantasy sports. So we're able to give it to the world and not have a lot of restrictions, especially domestically, as you guys know. What really separates us away from all the other fantasy apps is real video game technology and movement. Now, what you'll see when your player starts his game, you'll actually see him moving on your screen. When a player gets into a red zone opportunity, a prime scoring opportunity, you'll see that player then go to red and leapfrog over all the players that are started in your game. When that player then scores, you will have your own custom mascot, Robert. Just as JuJu will, just as I will, a custom avatar, Fortnite simulation model. And you will see, you and I, if we're playing against one another, will watch your custom mascot score in a simulated play. And we'll also hear your favorite theme song of that day, that time, that week for that scoring play. And then vice versa. If I score on you, you'll see my guy and hear my theme song. So that's just one of the many things that are separating us away from all the other fantasy platforms. Real movement. All the other fantasy platforms are like 1980s Atari right there. We're making it Xbox, where your player moves and you have real movement, real gamification of the plays as your players in his match.
So when I'm playing against JuJu, I'm gonna watch him score a touchdown on me.
Yeah, you'll see
Pretty much.
JuJu's characters touchdown on you. That's correct. That's correct.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. So, with the NFL and a lot of other traditional sports now, like really getting into it, I know you guys are doing the non-gambling side of it, but I really think that fantasy and daily fantasy has been, I think, crucial to what we've seen in the NFL and its success and a lot of other leagues as well. Do you guys think the same is going to be able to happen with esports? As in all reality, esports is still in its infancy, and I think fantasy is a huge has a huge thing to play in that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's already moving in that direction, as you guys know. There's already gambling with esports that exist on different platforms. Not many, but they're still there, and that's going to continue to grow. We just feel that the age demographic, the gameplay itself, where we're looking at is for the non-gambling crowd, the younger audiences, the ones that don't wish to engage in that type of activity, and to make it more fun, more exciting, more exhilarating, frictionless fantasy too. As you guys know, fantasy is very complicated right now. You have to do a lot of things, and there's a lot of stressors. There's a lot of friction involved there. We're making it very easy for people in all ages and all genres, all demographics to come and engage in their favorite sport, whether that's League of Legends or Call of Duty or Valorant or CSGO, Overwatch, all those games we intend to onboard on the platform now and in the future.
Awesome. And for you, JuJu, following up kind of on that, I know you were already talking about how you personally, feel the pressure, or maybe not the pressure, but you see how people are relying on you on Sundays, right? How do you think that you can get, professional esports players to see it in a similar fashion as you do, not in like the stress area, but the opportunity to maybe connect with fans in a different way?
Yeah, so I think when this all starts to roll out and play out how we want it to play out, I think those individual pro gamers they're going to feel the pressure. Like as of right now, I would say they don't, because we're not to that point yet. But when it comes to that point where your fans are relying on you, how they rely on me on Sundays, it's a lot different. So this kind of just going back to that, I think definitely like these pro gamers are definitely going to feel that pressure of being relied on to make a certain stat or make a certain move, and it's also nice too because I don't think Mike knew this, and this is why it's also exciting for us athletes. So we're not allowed to. This is why this is cool, because we're not allowed to gamble in fantasy, because money situations, all that going on. So this allows us to be access, and a lot of athletes will be more willing to do this because there's no gambling, no money involved. And if you do gamble, you're only allowed to win a pot of $250. Anything more than that, you will get suspended and fined. So this is a cool this is a cool deal we got going on.
So you're going to be telling Calvin Ridley this?
Yeah. I'm telling everybody who games, all the athletes, you're more welcome to come on here and onto this fantasy sports and do what you do.
Sorry, Calvin, not trying to take pot shots at you. I feel bad for what happened with you, man. So let's do a little bit on your guys' esports and gaming knowledge here, just more in the sense of which esport do you like the most to watch, and then what team are you rooting for? And JuJu, we'll start with you on this one.
So I have my own esports team.
Yes.
So it's called Team Diverge TD.
Mm-hmm.
We just signed, competitive Call of Duty group. We just signed a competitive Apex group. So just rooting for my guys, man. These guys are, young, hungry, and that process of actually starting an org has been fun. And I would say that because I was a part of FaZe, and I love FaZe. Kind of did what they did, but I felt like it was my dream to always start a gaming org. So rooting for TD, man. TD on top.
Love that. By the way, the name is absolutely perfect. It took me like maybe 5-10 minutes to figure it out. I was like, TD. Oh, that's just, it blew my mind. Truly.
Because it's like Team Diverge. So like Diverge comes from that, like, no matter who you are, where you come from, your skin color, your age, like your ethnicity, your background, your religion, your belief, as that we're all here for one common goal, and that's just to just play video games and have fun enjoying it and to win championships.
I love that. I love that. Mike, what about you? What game are you enjoying, lately? And are you rooting for TD too?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, big TD fan, obviously. And I love Call of Duty. I love watching Valorant.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. League's exciting too. It gets pretty aggressive. Overwatch, like watching Overwatch. But if I'm going to back another team besides TD, it's probably going to be Optic. Big fan.
Okay.
I've always been a fan of Optic and Hex, and I think they're doing some great things down there. We foresee us, having a future potentially with them, and we hope that they'll continue to get big, and we hope TD will continue to get big and grow too.
Yeah, definitely some great teams there. I got one more question for each of you. They're going to be a little bit different. Okay, so for you, Mike, you've named a couple different games. I want to know your favorite game of all time, and one game that doesn't get played as much now that you would love to eventually see on your platform.
Oh, well, the game I love watching now that gets played, it's a little different. It's going to be Fall Guys. It's just so much fun.
No doubt.
Right? It's just so much fun to play, so much fun to watch. It's a blast, right? It's different, and it applies to so many different age groups and people, all kinds. It's very inclusive. I love it. I love that. Favorite game of all time? That's a tough one. I would probably have to say Joust. I saw it not too long ago. I love the stand-up Joust arcade game. It'd probably be second to Tron. Tron as a stand-up arcade game for me. I would just spend hundreds of dollars on that game. It seemed like, back then, I just loved it. It was the first game to come out with a joystick too.
Yep.
The games had a full hand joystick, so those would be my two favorite.
I love that. And people get mad about kids spending money on skins. Come on.
Yeah, man.
All right. I know we're running up against the time. I would love to ask you that question, JuJu. We'll have to do that again because I have one very specific for you. Do you have any teammates that you are playing games with on a regular basis on the Chiefs right now?
Yeah, so it's so funny, man. So tonight I'm gaming with Travis Kelce, my MVS, and Miko Harmon. So my teammates right now, we're gonna run like a nice little squad game on Warzone, and we're gonna usually that's how we do it. And then if someone's not there, we'll have other guys join in. But usually we'll play tonight, and then tomorrow we'll talk about it at work. Talk about who's not the best, who needs to get replaced. Those are my guys.
Oh, I hope you stream that. I'll be looking forward. To follow up on that one, I'm asking you to call somebody out here besides yourself. Who's the best and who's the worst of the teammates you normally play with?
Okay, I would say the best. I would say MBS. I would say he's the best. The worst teammate. There's nobody that scores, but I would say right now it's probably Miko Harden. But then again, we'll see because we'll see about Trav tonight, and I'll keep you guys updated on how Trav does tonight. So
I'm looking forward to that tweet calling one of them out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure getting to talk to you. I can't wait to see the platform and be playing some fantasy esports here in the future. I also look forward to getting dunked on by potentially either of you and some friends. It's going to be fun.